Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good night and konbanwa everybody. We speak in mixed language, Japanese, English, and Indonesian. Thank you for the Indonesian Society, Indonesian Student Society in Toyasi, for the chance for me to present my topic about bioplastic and biosurfactant from microbe. The topic including production and their application. Judulnya kira-kira produksi bioplastik dan biosurfaktan dari mikroba, termasuk juga aplikasinya. The first background of this topic is about the problem of conventional plastic waste, yaitu terkait dengan masalah buangan plastik konvensional. Umumnya plastik konvensional itu sangat sulit terdegradasi di lingkungan. Seperti kita lihat di sini banyak contoh-contoh plastik yang terdampar di pinggir laut, dan plastik tersebut sampai mungkin beberapa tahun itu it cannot be degraded by itself or by the earth or by the soil. It's very, very difficult. Maybe need for 10, 20 or maybe more than 50 years. But in other side, we need to have a good environment. Therefore, in my research, we are trying to produce the bioplastic, biodegradable plastic. This plastic, when we use, it can be degraded in environment, become like as you see in the figure. This is maybe 1 month after throw away in the soil, in 2 months, and after 6 months, it's become almost disappear. So that is the advantage if we produce bioplastic. But the problem is production of bioplastic almost expensive, 5 times or maybe more than 5 times higher than normal plastic. I mean conventional plastic. Therefore, we need to combine, not only produce from when we produce plastic from bacteria, not only combine that plastic, but we need to produce another biomaterial, that is rhamnolipid. Rhamnolipid is kind of biosurfactant. This is the concept how to produce plastic and this is the previous or the old method how to produce bioplastic. First, the cell and fermented in the fermenter, and then we get the bioplastic after extraction. But this is very, very expensive to produce bioplastic. It costs maybe more than, as I told you just now, more than 5 or 7 times higher than normal plastic. But this is a new strategy. New strategy or new concept how to produce bioplastic and biosurfactant, let's say cheaper, but actually not cheaper yet, but cheaper than conventional bioplastic. First, we try to produce bioplastic, and then in the same time, we hope that the bacteria or microbe can produce another important or valuable material, that is we call biosurfactant or we call rhamnolipid. The name is rhamnolipid. This is the concept. I think it's better to explain of you, not so deep, because I'm sure we are very totally different. So in the background, so I don't want to go to deeper and deeper, but in the surface. This is everybody. What is the experiment how to produce bioplastic and biosurfactant? This is a typical fermenter. This is all the equipment that we need for in the depth scale production. But then now we can produce in the more sophisticated equipment. This is the semi-pilot plant scale for production of bioplastic and biosurfactant. How the application? Okay, this is the application. Bioplastic, you can see in the supermarket. This is bioplastic, the plastic from bioplastic, and plastic here is a cover to scrap the banana, and also for the yeast, and also the water for the sample or something like that. So after we use this plastic, we can throw away easily in the environment, and within 6 months, it easily disappear. That's very simple, how to say, impression what's bioplastic. I'm afraid you don't know what is bioplastic and what is plastic. This kind of material is plastic, but this is not bioplastic. Just easy to make it easy to understand what is plastic and then what is biosurfactant? This is the application of biosurfactant. Biosurfactant is a material that can, if we image biosurfactant, it's similar like detergent. When you imagine surfactant, surfactant is detergent. But in this case, biosurfactant is detergent that can, usually if normal surfactant, when we throw it in the environment, in the let's say, in the environment, it cannot be degraded by microorganisms easily. But if biosurfactant, it can be degraded by microorganisms easily. This is the typical of surfactant. The application, the problem is when this is because here several people that know this well. Yang ini kira-kira susah ngomong bahasa Inggris saudara-saudara. This one is typical of shampoo bottle that we usually use almost every day. Inside the shampoo or inside the this is cosmetic. Sorry, not shampoo. This is cosmetic. Cosmetic usually when we put in our usually young lady usually they put something in their face. And when we use surfactant, sometimes it's become allergy, something like that. But when we add biosurfactant, it's compatible with the for skincare, sorry. So we use this for skincare. The other option is how to use the bioremediation. Usually when we export the oil from the exploration, they spill out in the soil, so the soil becomes contaminated with the oil, and then we pour surfactant, and that oil can easily attach by microorganism and eat by microorganism become disappear. That is the typical of material. What is plastic? Plastic we can divide into two types. First, thermoplastic and then thermosetting. Thermoplastic like this one. This one after it becomes plastic, it's gonna, when we get heat, it's gonna go again to the previous shape. But if the thermoplastic, thermostatic, when we give the heat, it's become plastic again. That is thermoplastic. Thermoplastic and thermosetting. Typical of thermoplastic, this one polyester. You can see the photo here. Sorry. This one it's written here. Poly-PET. Polyethylene terephthalate. Number 1. This is typical of polyester plastic. The other one is, if you see epoxy, we add something here for attach the material to others. This is typical plastic. The other one is the other kind of plastic, bioplastic. Bioplastic can be divided into two also, thermoplastic and thermosetting. Bioplastic, plastic, and okay, another 2 minutes. Actually, bioplastic, if we try to understand further about the bioplastic actually can be divided into biodegradable plastic, fully degradable, and partially degradable. Mean that not all the plastic can be degraded easily for the partially degradable. Okay, thank you very much for your kind attention, and hope it can be give you the first, the first model for us to make a further discussion. Thank you very much. Domo arigatou gozaimashita. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu.